This is Daily Armenia, CivilNet's daily news digest. Here's what's making headlines in Armenia today. A Yerevan court has ordered Sedrak Kocharyan, the elder son of former President Robert Kocharyan, into pretrial detention for 2 months as part of a corruption investigation involving his father and several other people. The decision came early this morning after a hearing lasting about 7 hours. The court granted investigators' request to hold him in detention, citing concerns that he could obstruct the investigation if released. The defense rejected the premise and plans to appeal. Investigators are examining transactions from 2004, 2006, and 2010 that they allege were conducted through criminal means. The defense lawyer said his client is also accused of assisting public officials in abusing their authority. He called the case politically motivated and said some of the alleged offenses may be beyond the statute of limitations. Sedrak Kocharyan was arrested yesterday along with his father and 4 other people after authorities carried out searches targeting the Kocharyan family and businesses linked to them. Robert Kocharyan has been charged with abuse of authority, large-scale bribery, and money laundering. Investigators allege that during his presidency, he used his position to help remove valuable property from state ownership and acquire them at prices significantly below market value, with some assets allegedly registered in relatives' names to conceal ownership. Kocharyan's successor, former President Sedrak Kocharyan, was also charged yesterday with abuse of authority and summoned for questioning. The arrests came a day after a heated exchange in parliament between Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan and Robert Kocharyan's younger son, opposition lawmaker Yerevan Kocharyan, who is protected by parliamentary immunity. The Kocharyan family has accused the government of politically motivated prosecution, while Pashinyan has defended the investigation and said improperly acquired state assets should be returned to the government. Armenia says it is ready to welcome a new wave of Russians seeking to avoid possible military mobilization. Armenia's Security Council Secretary Alen Simonyan told Russian-language broadcaster TV Rain yesterday that Russian citizens arriving in Armenia would not be questioned about their reasons for coming. "Welcome to Armenia," Simonyan said, adding that Armenia would not obstruct their arrival and would help if necessary. His comments come amid renewed speculation in Russia about another wave of mobilization, a government-ordered call-up of civilians for military service. Russia announced a partial mobilization in September 2022, following its invasion of Ukraine. Although Russian authorities later said the mobilization had ended, the decree authorizing it remains in effect. Rumors of a new mobilization have been circulating for months, with some reports suggesting it could begin after Russia's September parliamentary elections. Russian authorities have denied those reports. Meanwhile, demand for rental housing in Armenia has reportedly surged this summer, particularly among Russian citizens. Real estate agents in Yerevan say the current influx is beginning to resemble the wave of arrivals seen in 2022. Rental prices are on the rise again as pressure on the housing market increases. Armenia became one of the main destinations for Russians leaving the country after the 2022 mobilization, with tens of thousands arriving in the years since. And finally, the CivilNet number of the day is 94. That's the number of people who were granted asylum in Armenia in the first 6 months of this year, according to a report by the Interior Ministry released yesterday. This does not include Armenians displaced from Nagorno-Karabakh, as they are treated under a different procedure. The most common countries of origin are Russia, Ukraine, and Afghanistan, with Iran accounting for the largest share of applicants, at 28%. At the same time, more than twice as many applications were rejected. The statistics refute recent media claims that Armenia is admitting large numbers of asylum seekers from foreign countries. The figure is in line with the annual average of several hundred approved applications in recent years. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.